Ghostbusters was not a very good NES game. Ghostbusters 2 was also not a very good NES game. And when I was a kid, that was a crushing blow to my emotional development. Like, when you're 5 years old, you don't really have any experience with disappointment. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, early bedtime. Or maybe you have to share your Necco wafers. Like, that's tragedy when you're 5. So imagine how I felt when my parents, who up to that point had done a wonderful job sheltering me from the harsh realities of life, brought home those 2 games. 2 Ghostbusters games. I went from excited to confused, to bewildered, to incoherently angry, to the emotionally scarred mess you're listening to right now. Thanks a lot, Mom! So I went, probably 20 years without playing either of those 2 Ghostbusters games ever again. I'm serious. It's not funny, Activision. Your crap games took away my Necco wafers, you assholes! So when I saw this, well, I did not want to play this. Then I played this. Listen, I may have a lot of personal problems, but I'm a total professional when it comes to my job. So I sedated myself, and I prepared to reopen that box of repressed childhood memories, Mom! But it wasn't very long until I realized something wasn't right. Because something was right. This wasn't that crushing blow to my emotional development that I remembered. This was something good. Something decent. Something pure. This was new Ghostbusters 2. Never has one word made such a difference. So I had no idea this game even existed. That's partially because of where I live, partially because I made a life decision to ignore Ghostbusters everything on the NES. But as it turns out, while Activision ruined our childhood here in the States, things were different in Europe. Actually, in all the PAL territories. In Japan, too. Because they didn't get the same Ghostbusters 2. They got new Ghostbusters 2. And unlike our Ghostbusters 2, this Ghostbusters 2 is awesome. Like, legitimately awesome. And this is seriously one of the best movie games I've ever played on the NES. And I mean, like, you know, I'm not usually, like, an import guy, but I've never been more jealous of an import game in my entire life. I would have given anything to have this game in the States. My psychiatrist would have appreciated it, too. So where Activision's Ghostbusters 2 is basically a worthless piece of slime, ignorant, disgusting blob with a weak electrochemical bond, holy crap, this is like a well-designed video game. Imagine that. And it starts as soon as you turn it on. You pick your Ghostbusters, and it's like, holy crap, that actually looks like the Ghostbusters. Venkman has Bill Murray's signature hairline. Ray is wearing a pair of ecto goggles. I mean, there's more attention to detail here in this one's character select screen than the entire American version of Ghostbusters 2. It's ridiculous. And the poll still works! And as good as the gameplay is, I think that's the highlight of new Ghostbusters 2. The presentation. Every single level in this game is based on a location or scene from the movie. Like, every single one. So you start in the courthouse, and the attention to detail is just amazing. I mean, the boss battle even recreates the Scoleri Brothers scene, complete with the popping chairs and the bubbling slime jar, and 2 really awesome sprites. And if you're a Ghostbusters fan, like, that's enough, right? Like, you're probably already sold. But seriously, the entire game's like that. The subway scene, the river of slime, the ghost train. We get to play through all of them. You can tell some genuine effort went into this. I mean, there are movie games today that don't capture their movie as well as this one. So the detail's great, the sprites are adorable, and it's got an awesome soundtrack, which actually includes music from the movie. I mean, it's like a polished, well-made game. And you know, the thing that really sets it apart is that it plays as sharp as it looks. In fact, the central gameplay mechanic might be the game's greatest achievement. You're controlling 2 characters simultaneously, doing 2 different things with just 2 buttons, and it works. Move one Ghostbuster with the D-pad, the other follows. Shoot the proton stream, hold the ghost. Press the other button to have your second Ghostbuster release the trap. I mean, it's so simple, and it's just awesome. And it's one of those games that, you know, it embraced the limitations of simple controllers to deliver gameplay that was fast and precise and addictive, and gameplay that still holds up, too. In fact, new Ghostbusters 2 kind of reminds me of Luigi's Mansion, and that's kind of insane. I guess if I have any complaints, some of the enemies are a bit of a stretch, like gargoyles and stuff. Some of the levels feel a bit long, which is understandable since there's not many. Also, hey, it never came out in the States! How's that for a complaint? Mom, Activision, everyone involved? Consider yourselves lucky, pal peeps, because you got a real classic with this one. And an extra special thanks to Fernando from Zaragoza, Spain, for sending this to the show. Thank you, seriously, so much, Fernando. I've been waiting my whole life to play this. It's a start to the healing. It's new Ghostbusters 2. Your 2 minutes are up. Good night, gentlemen.